Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your number one source for real estate advice online. And in this video, we're going to talk about virtual assistants. But before I get to the topic of this video, make sure you go to this website right here at the bottom of this video. Subscribe to my newsletter so I can keep in touch with you and send you information and also updates on any kind of videos that I make. And basically, stay in touch with you, add you to the community, and leave a comment, suggestion. Check out my audiobooks, of course. They're for sale on my website as well. And don't forget to wait till the end of this video. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my class coming up next month. And hopefully we're going to try to have a class every month from now on. So this video, though, is about virtual assistants. Yay! New topic. I love it when I get questions from you all. So last month, August 2020, I actually taught my very first class on tax sale foreclosure investing. It was an amazing turnout. We had, I think, close to about 10 students in the class, so it wasn't super large. So I was able to dedicate a lot of time to all of you. And I've gotten an amazing amount of questions from you all. So I was really happy to get those and be able to answer them. And I wanted to address some of those questions in my videos because they might be useful to some of you out there that may not have had a chance to attend the class. And one of the questions was, do I ever use virtual assistants or VAs to do some of my research for my real estate investing endeavors? And here's my kind of short answer. I don't right now, but I have. And here's my experience with it. I wanted to share that with you. And of course, please, if you have had experience with this as well, share it at the bottom of this video. Let the other people know. I want you guys to start talking to each other. I know this is starting to be a larger YouTube channel here with some almost 13,000 subscribers, by the way. Thank you so much. And now I gotta pull from other sources some of the information because everything, I don't know everything. So I gotta ask you guys to do some of this as well and share your experiences. So let's talk about virtual assistants. So a couple years ago, I read a book, or maybe I watched a podcast, listened to a podcast, watched a YouTube video or something like that, where somebody said you should really look into virtual assistants because they can do all this work for you. Basically set up your appointments and do all the research. Like if you have a list of some hundreds of properties to look through, they can sift through and give you like the 3 or 4 good ones that you should be focused on. It'll save you a lot of time. And of course you can get them really cheap if you hire people from a third world country. Sometimes you can pay as little as $2 to $3 an hour. And so I decided, well, let's take one for the team. At the time, I didn't have really, a large YouTube following. I think it was even before I started YouTube, to see what is this all about. So I started making like a to-do list for my virtual assistant, and I contacted a couple of the companies out there. And of course, being a thrift shopper, not just with real estate, but just with everything else in the world, I wanted to pay the least amount possible. And of course, some of these prices that the people are offering their services for are way below minimum wage. And I do realize some of you guys are probably upset with me if I say that, but I was targeting those companies first because I wanted just, if I was going to spend some money on this and it didn't work out, at least I didn't lose as much. It was kind of my try. And so I went through some of the main companies, and I can't tell you right now which ones they are. I don't want to drag anybody's names through the dirt anyways with this video. But if you look at virtual assistants online, you'll know who the big players are basically. So I scheduled phone calls with their managers basically, and I got a couple of phone calls, I believe from Bangladesh and India, offering me basically people to work for me and do any kind of work, anything. And I guess from what I understood is that you can get unskilled workers that have, sort of okay English skills, and then you can have workers that are really good with English. So the ones that are really good with English, of course, you pay more for. You can also get unskilled people, and then you can actually get people that are accountants or knowledgeable in the law, or CPAs and financial managers and things like that, people that are actually trained. And you can get those people, of course, the more skill you buy and the more language skills you buy, the more expensive it is. So the virtual assistants that I've examined were anywhere between $2.50 to about $15-16 an hour. So and the way it actually worked is that you ask the managers, I need this many hours per week or something like that. And then sometimes you get charged, well, usually you get charged ahead of time by the week, and whoever you choose is then assigned to you, and you get those hours. That's basically what you pay for. However, if you want to have the same virtual assistant every week, so you don't have to keep explaining to them your process every time, that costs extra also. Dedicated time with one specific person costs extra. But if you're just buying hours, you might get a different person each day. And from my personal experience is that the actual research that I do for real estate, it takes a little bit of training. I have to basically tell somebody what I'm looking for and kind of teach them. That right there takes a whole chunk of hours already to get to start with. But if you have to explain that to somebody new every single time, then that kind of defeats the purpose of having a VA. So really the only way in my line of business to have a VA is to have the same person all the time that you can just train and then just let them work. And of course that's extra. The other thing is the English skills. So if you want somebody that speaks really good English that you can understand and they can understand you, of course that costs extra. That's not like a given. Some of these people speak very, very rudimentarily English, and it's very difficult to communicate and put your point across basically of what you want. And then other people are pretty much native speakers. For example, I have a, and I don't want to say this is a virtual assistant because he only does one thing, but I have a gentleman who lives in Bangladesh basically, who does my videos, and I believe it's Bangladesh. He's actually probably going to be editing this video, so hi. But he's been doing my videos for a really long time, and his English is excellent. It's pretty much native, and that's really what you're looking for, because if you have to teach somebody how to speak English or understand you, along with the process of what you're actually trying to accomplish at the work that you're asking them to do, and you're basically reinventing the wheel every single time the workday starts, that's just going to take more time out of your day and defeats the purpose of having a VA. Now for everyday stuff, for example, a personal assistant type thing, virtual assistant, personal assistant, for somebody that can handle like your personal affairs, like set up appointments. And by the way, that's what I wanted to add too, making phone calls is actually also an extra charge. A lot of these very cheap services, virtual assistants, don't do anything via phone. They do work 24/7, obviously, because of the time difference, but they won't do any phone calls for you, and you probably don't want them to because of their language skills, so they do everything online with emails and researching online. But a lot of my work actually has to do with calling during business hours here in the United States. So again, that's another little caveat that they throw into your wheel there that you basically have to deal with. So if I have to get somebody to do a bunch of research, but they can't do any phone calls to get this research done, then we're basically back at square one. So just if you're planning to use a VA or a personal assistant online, or just kind of hire that service from online, then I would really recommend that you kind of weigh the advantages and disadvantages of what you actually need. And remember that if you're hiring somebody from overseas, you will have issues with language barriers, you'll have issues with time differences, you have issues with them not really making any phone calls unless you pay extra for it, and you'll have issues with having the same person and the permanence of having the same person working your tasks all the time. What I later on decided to do, because actually I need help, I have piles of papers here everywhere in the office, and this is not even my office, it's actually my dining room, but there's papers all over here. So what I decided to do is kind of just hire somebody locally that can come to my office that person would then kind of learn the process of what I'm trying to do and stick with it from week to week to week and kind of keep working at it. And so I don't have to re-explain everything every time they come to work. That was really helpful. However, you pay, of course, extra for that. A local US citizen that actually lives here and that works for me, I've paid anywhere between $12 and $15 an hour. And that's actually pretty high. But also the thing is, if you pay somebody minimum wage, nothing prevents them to get a minimum wage job somewhere else if they don't like it working for you. So you got to make the job really, really nice, or you got to pay them more money. So you kind of have to weigh all of these things. Right now, I actually have different people just doing different things. That's been kind of working for me. So I have the cleaners, of course, for the vacation rental business, and I have a general manager, property manager right now that helps me not just with the properties, but also with my personal affairs. And so he's kind of like a PA, personal assistant, general manager, property manager. That seems to work really good. However, the pay is, of course, paid in different ways, not money, but he has, a vehicle to drive and a place to live for free. So you kind of just have to wait and see what works. But I would really encourage you, don't discard any of these ideas that are presented in this video. Kind of like explore them and see how they work for you. And maybe a virtual assistant from India or another country, Bangladesh or something, might be a good idea for you. I have also had, by the way, personal assistants in Canada and in the United States that were also online, different areas. And my marketing manager, Todd, who you guys probably heard me talk about, is also not located here in Georgia. I think he is in Idaho or Iowa. Actually, he's in Iowa, I'm sorry. And he's helping me with marketing and arranging coaching students and things. So just kind of work your way through that. Don't discard an idea right before starting it. If you don't know, see how much you can invest to find out for yourself whether an idea works or not. And that actually goes for everything, not just hiring a VA or a personal assistant, but anything, even finding property or real estate, improved or unimproved, or any kind of business idea. If you don't know, the best way to find out is to do it, but try to minimize your risk if you lose out on everything. So it doesn't hurt to spend a couple of $100 on a virtual assistant to see if they worked out, as long as you don't write any long-term commitments, and then you'll know for sure if that line of work actually works for you or not. So I hope this was helpful, somewhat anyways. And I wanted to tell you about my class coming up. It's going to be September 9th through the 15th. So in 1 week, I'm going to bombard you with all the information that you need, and you'll be able to start off running once the opportunities strike, because they're going to be coming your way, and if you don't take advantage of them, somebody else will. I hope this was informational. Please subscribe, juliamspencer.com, and I hope to see you investing very successfully very soon. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.